Eric, FYI, we're the only ones here. I know, it always is. Just the one black and white, right, Vince? All right, stand by, guys. Hey there, guys. LAPD in pursuit of that black pickup truck right there in the center of your screen. We tracked this just in the last 30 seconds. Apparently, unsure what the want is here, but he started in the Southgate area, went up towards Huntington Park, and appears to be really circling the neighborhood. He's traversing some of these surface streets in the Bell neighborhood, just west of the 710, over in the Cudahy area. He's now moving back south along the tracks. He was going south on Atlantic for a while, and he seems to be doing a circle. Interestingly, they only have that one LAPD unit right behind him at this point. No other backup on scene yet. LAPD helicopter is on the way over here, but at this point, this is a one-on-one pursuit. That one black and white SUV right behind him there as they pursue this pickup truck. Appears to be a dead end. He's going to go off-road and onto the tracks possibly. I'm not sure if there's a fence there, but yeah, he's onto the tracks. Right along the tracks, and this is going to be, again, just along Atlantic Avenue, guys. He is now off-roading. We have no idea what he's wanted for, but obviously he's desperate to evade police here. It doesn't have complete control of that vehicle. Very well could spin out here. Unclear how many passengers are inside that pickup truck. A lot of unknown details here, but this guy is obviously driving very recklessly. What appeared to be one of those more tame pursuits for a couple of minutes, just getting on some of these streets, now has turned into what is already a wild police pursuit here in Bell. And unfortunately, they only have that one LAPD unit from the 77th Street Division following him. They may very well pull back if he gets much more dangerous, but at this point, I can tell you he's now going through a parking lot. He's already come very close to a number of other vehicles, very close to a city bus at one point, and is driving very recklessly. Now in the wrong way, going the wrong way, try and get this street here, but he's going the wrong way into oncoming lanes of traffic, and now that LAPD unit, as I mentioned, appears to have backed off.
And we're going to bring in, Chris, we're going to bring in Rick Dickert into this conversation. And Rick, it's interesting that this guy is staying in this neighborhood. This may be a place that he knows.
That's right. We see that a lot, Tony, Megan, Chris. We see these suspects gravitate towards areas that they know because they feel that they can perhaps evade law enforcement better that way. And he's doing a loop around this neighborhood, back by the tracks there. But it's certainly a dangerous situation. And since the Los Angeles Police Department is the lead agency on this, going through this intersection, it's a four-way stop, wrapping around that sedan there, back over the tracks, they may back off just because of the safety issue. You can see that LAPD helicopter is up, tracking his every move from up above. But LAPD, unfortunately, they lead the state in terms of innocent bystanders. Looks like he may bail right here. He's pulling off to the right.
So, Rick,
can see the foot bail here.
The want is for reckless driving. Now he's getting out of the car, hands up.
Well, not yet.
Not yet.
He's running. He got his hands up.
Going to make a run for it. Doesn't have any units on the ground behind him. Just the one air unit you see going through the picture. He's going to take a little jog up this block, and I can guarantee you that LAPD is zeroing in on this neighborhood. Now he's onto some private property. Very well could be his house. He was obviously very familiar with this neighborhood. As you mentioned, Rick, he did a complete circle, a couple of laps around this specific block, onto the tracks, off the tracks, then onto this surface street, and now running into a house. Obviously, he either knows somebody in that house or possibly lives in here. Here comes the cops. They are now on location. Guns drawn. They're looking in the wrong direction. They're now making their way onto the property. There's two houses here. There's one there on the right. He went into the house near the top of your screen there. So the number
Chris,
of buildings.
You guys can alert the LAPD air support of that, of where he went. We've done that in the past. It looks like we tilt the camera up a little bit. I think I saw some activity in the backyard, perhaps.
So, but they are in that.
Widen out a little bit, Vince. Might have seen him come out the back. All right, so they've made entry into that home. I'm looking around the home. I don't see any other. There he is in the backyard. That might be him, or that might be the police.
Officers are. Yep, there's some officers back there.
All right, so they will very quickly surround this home and this entire neighborhood until they form a perimeter and lock down all of these houses in this shot right here. That's going to be their goal until they can zero in on where this guy went. Obviously, they do have the eyes of the LAPD bird overhead, but of course, it's just a matter of time at this point.
Guns still drawn. Fortunately, nobody was hit or injured, and some schools heading back, not LAUSD, but lots of foot traffic this time of day, and we saw some near misses, near hits, and hopefully
So
nobody was
close.
injured.
Yeah, so close. Number of close calls there.
So we're saying he was wanted in pursuit for reckless driving. And like you said, this is a busy time for everyone to go back to work. So luckily this has stopped.
Well, and what we don't know is whether he's barricaded himself inside this house. We saw him go into the house, but we don't know what happened to him once he got into the house.
And if he is connected to that residence, we don't know. We're assuming that he kind of knew the area and he pulled up a couple of houses before this home and made his way in the back. But it looked like he was somewhat familiar with it, so perhaps he has some sort of connection to this house. But they're going to contain the area, as Chris said, essentially draw a line around the area, make sure nobody gets in or out, and hopefully they'll bring this to a safe conclusion. Again, Air Support, LAPD up ahead. LAPD, the lead agency, and it looked like for a time they backed off or only had one unit on this guy because he was driving recklessly. And once they see a situation like this where a suspect could produce injury to innocent bystanders out there, they will back off so that in the hopes that the suspect will slow down a bit.
Which
All right.
did work in this case.
Yeah, well, here's what we're going to do. We're going to keep our eye on this as we get ready to go to break. And when we find out how it's ultimately resolved or if we need to go back to it, we'll do that.
We will. All right.
All right, and it is 7:29. We'll be right
Nice
back.
job,
We'll
team.
be right back.